I guess this is what we're doing now, a little bit of a preamble before the actual intro to the video. But I just want to say I'm not sure how to describe this one. It's a bit of a sci-fi thriller, but that doesn't really properly describe it. It also is fatalistic horror. I've seen this book described as True Detective meets Inception, but I would say you need to sprinkle in a little bit of Event Horizon as well to fully capture the feel of this book.
We're leaving.
This thing has some of the most grotesque scenes I've ever read, and also a pretty cool take on time travel. What up, fiction fan? Welcome to Down to Read. My name is Steven, and this video is my review of Tom Sweterlitsch's sci-fi thriller. Let's go with that anyway, because I don't have my horror cardigan on today. The Gone World. This book was first published in 2018 by G.P. Putnam's Sons. In this video, as always, if you're new to it, welcome. First, we'll go over a summary of the book, spoiler free, then I'll talk about the things I liked, the things that weren't for me, and finally we'll give it a rating out of 5 stars. Now, if this book achieves the 5-star banger status, we'll give it a 5-star bonus wrap up. And we're coming just on the hot heels of a wrap up, actually.
If I said this book didn't have me crying, well, I guess then I'd be lying.
This could be back-to-back 5-star banger wrap ups. Check out the review of A Man Called Uwe here. A member of the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, our main character, Shannon Moss, is trying to solve a brutal murder and missing person case in the year 1997. However, this ain't no normal case. This case has links to mental trauma caused by time travel. Shannon is quite familiar with the trauma caused by time travel, as through her role as part of the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, or NCIS, she is often traveling to a possible future by flying a spaceship through a phenomenon referred to as deep time. You may have noticed that I said possible futures. That's because these versions of Earth that Shannon and the other NCIS travelers go to aren't real. They're ripples of what could happen by projecting our present. These possible futures are referred to as IFTs, inadmissible future trajectories. So while what happens in these other futures that Shannon ventures to can't be used to explicitly prove someone's guilt in our timeline, Shannon can get clues and leads by seeing what could happen to help solve cases in our timeline, which is referred to as terra firma. These other worlds in the other futures or possible timelines only exist until a traveler, such as Shannon, departs them, which some of the copies in these other worlds, or echoes as they're referred to, are aware of. So you can imagine you need to be pretty careful not to be discovered if you're a traveler. Also, best to avoid your own echo while traveling, as this can be dangerous. If that wasn't enough, time travel takes a physical toll on people. So when Shannon goes back to 1997 after being one of these potential futures, she looks more like she's the age of her mum than other women her age. The only thing that is constant across all of these potential futures or timelines is something referred to as the terminus, which is where the fatalistic horror element of this story comes in. At the time of terminus, a second sun appears and shines upon our world. This causes mass suffering and death across the world, and some people become what's referred to as hanged men because they look like they've been crucified upside down but are floating in the air. There's no known way to prevent terminus, and with each travel to an IFT, it's coming closer. In the prologue of this book, the terminus is described as the blade of a slicing guillotine getting closer and closer to us. Look, I get that was a lot of information in not much time, but I try to keep these book reviews pretty short and concise. There is a lot of information in this book, but Tom Sweterlitsch also does a pretty good job of explaining it and developing these concepts. The feeling of existential dread. This seems to be a bit of a recurring theme for me. The feelings of dread or hopelessness are somehow things that I'm attracted to in books. I'm not sure what that says about me. But this inevitability of the terminus and revealing so early in the book as to how cataclysmic this event is going to be really just underlies every other section of the book with this feeling of dread. Even when Shannon is experiencing a seemingly rare moment of peace or romance even, you're still thinking in the back of your mind, but the terminus is coming. The way time travel works in this book, and the amount of detail that Sweterlitsch puts into it to really make you feel like you understand how it works in this world. Even details such as what happens if an echo somehow finds their way back to terra firma, Sweterlitsch takes the time to explain what their legal rights would be. This level of detail really helps immerse you in the world, and the way time travel works is one of the coolest things about this book. The scenes where we learn what happened to trigger Terminus are probably my favorite sections of this book. I won't spoil what happens, I'll just say that in these sections people are really struggling to deal with something they don't understand, and that was just really freaky. Shannon is such a badass, and she has a really cool mantra of others would quit when things get really tough. But a badass NCIS agent is all Shannon is really shown to be.
What the hell's Denozo doing? I don't know.
That is to say, she was a fairly one-dimensional character to me, and I found it hard to connect with her and really care about what she's doing. Also, as cool as the overarching concept of this book is, I found some of the dialogue in the book a little bit clumsy, which broke the immersion for me. And the ending, again, I won't spoil it, it just all was a wee bit too convoluted for me. Or maybe I'm just not smart enough to get it. I give The Gone World 3.5 stars. If you're tossing up between a murder mystery or a sci-fi horror, ¿por qué no los dos?
¿Por qué no los dos?
If you're looking for something with clever dialogue or a character-driven story, this one probably isn't for you. Have you read The Gone World? Have you read something else that's a cool blend of genres like this one is? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe. If you'd like to see more fun content like this one. And as always, thanks for watching. Oh no.